السلام عليكم أعزائي التلاميذ، أهلا ومرحبا بكم في قناتكم توفيق ABC English. هذه القناة التي تهتم بشرح دروس اللغة الإنجليزية بالدارجة المغربية لفائدة تلاميذ الثانوي التأهيلي بما في ذلك الجدع المشترك الأولى باكالوريا، الثانية باكالوريا، والجدع المشترك من طبيعة الحال. في كل حلقة نقدم درس جديد بطريقة جد مبسطة وبجودة عالية. فمرحبا بكم مجددا في قناتكم توفيق ABC English. درس اليوم إن شاء الله سيتمحور في مكون القواعد الجرامر and it's about passive voice. So passive voice اليوم غيتشرح بطريقة اللي هي زويونة، بطريقة اللي هي نقية، وبطريقة اللي هي جد مبسطة. إذا كنتم مستعدين فهيا على بركة الله نبدأ حلقة اليوم أو حصة اليوم. So the first thing we have, change the following sentences from active into a passive. فاش كنهضروا على الactive والpassive من طبيعة الحال كنهضروا على بنين معلوم بنين مجهول. So active voice we have two sentences, two pictures here. Hassan cleans the rooms. Hassan cleans the rooms. So to change it into passive voice we say the rooms are cleaned by Hassan. بطبيعة الحال غادي نفهموا كيفاش كنحولوا الجملة من active into a passive. شنو هما التقنيات اللي خصنا نشوفوهم، شنو هما المسائل اللي خصنا نراعيو ليهم قبل ما نحولوا الجملة. نتعرفوا اولا على صيغة او طبيعة الجملة عندنا هنايا. So Hassan is a subject, cleans is a verb, and the rooms is a complement. So to make or to change a sentence from active into passive كنبداو دايما بالcomplement. So the rooms new subject وتتسمى agent، عادة نزيدو لها الverb to be plus past participle plus by and then new complement. يعني كيف ما كتشوفوا في الصورة عندي حسن cleans the rooms، كنبدا بالrooms اللي هي new subject وكنزيد لها الverb to be اللي هو are، وكنزيد لها past participle ديال cleans اللي هو cleaned، كنزيدو by وعدا حسن. Okay. The same sentence, Hassan cleans the room. So new subject, the subject, verb and complement. So to make it, to change it into passive, we say the rooms. هنايا هاد الخطوات هادي بتعقل عليها. يعني فين ما كنحدد النيو سبجكت كنمشي للفيرب. شنو كندير؟ كنشوف واش الفيرب فاش مصرف، يعني التنس ديالو كنصرف فيه الفيرب تو بي. يعني التنس ديال الفيرب ديال المين فيرب كنصرف فيه الفيرب تو بي، والمين فيرب كنديه الباست بارتيسيبل. دونك في هذه الحاله غادي نشوفوا المين فيرب مصرف للسيمبل بريزنت. سو ذا فيرب تو بي ان سيمبل بريزنت غادي يكون am is او لا are. كنشوف السبجكت is it singular or plural. الا كان singular شنو غادي تكون عندي؟ الا كانت عندي the room غادي تكون is، ولا كانت عندي plural بحال كيف في الجمله the rooms are. Okay, so the verb to be are. عاد الباست بارتيسيبل ديال cleans غادي تكون cleaned ولا cleaned. Okay, عندها جوج ديال الباست بارتيسيبل، وباش تعرفوا الباست بارتيسيبل غترجعوا للليست ديال irregular verbs راهما في الخانه الثالثه. عاد غنزيد باي and then حسن. نتمنى الفكره تكون واضحه. يعني قبل ما نشونجي الكلمه، قبل ما نشونجي الجمله، كنشوف النيو سبجكت واش سينجلر ولا بلورال، لانه هو اللي كيحكم لي على الفيرب تو بي شنو غيكون، واش is ولا am ولا are ولا was ولا were ولا etc. والباست بارتيسيبل والمين فيرب كنردو دائما الباست بارتيسيبل، وهذا هو الباسيف فويس. So عندي new subject, verb to be, past participle, by and new complement. Now change the following sentence into active, from active into passive. في الصورة عندي a thief وعندي arrested وعندي the police. غادي نقولوا active voice, the police arrested the thief last week. The police arrested the thief last week. To change it into passive we start with the thief. It's a subject. Was علاش درنا was؟ لأن the thief simple singular. Okay, so the thief is singular وعندنا arrested في simple past، دونك الverb to be خصو يكون مصرف simple past، غادي تكون was. شنو هو الباست participle ديال arrested؟ هو arrested نفسه. إلا عندي الverb في simple past كينتهي ب a day راه هو الباست participle نفسه ما كيتغيرش. اوكي إلا عندي simple past I mean verb في simple past كينتهي ب a day راه هو ال past participle نفسه لا يتغير. So the thief was arrested by the police وعاد نديرو last week. Okay. The police arrested the thief last week. The thief was arrested by the police last week. Next. Change the following sentences from active into passive. Donc هذه يعني simple present singular. My mother cooks a tagine. My mother cooks a tagine. We start with what? A tagine. Cooks مصرفة في simple present. A tagine, is it singular or plural? We say it's singular, so غادي نديرو is. The past participle ديال cooks هو cooked by my mother. Donc the passive voice راه سهل. Simple present plurals. Hassan cleans the rooms. Passive voice. The rooms. Donc تشوف new subject. We're singular ولا plural. The rooms هنا عندي plural غادي تكون are cleaned by Hassan. Right? Okay, move on to the next. Simple past again. The policeman arrested the thief. Donc نديرو the thief was arrested by the policeman. I think it's clear now. The same thing, simple past plural. We say my sister wrote letters. So letters, yes, letters عندي هنايا plural. اشنو غادي يكون plural ديال verb to be في الباست؟ where. Past participle ديال wrote, written. By whom? By my sister. Okay? Next. Change the following sentences from active into passive. Donc عندي present continuous, my mother is cooking a tagine. Le past continuous, my mother was cooking a tagine. Present perfect, my mother has cooked a tagine. Past perfect, my mother had cooked a tagine. Simple future, my mother will cook a tagine. Be going to, my mother is going to cook a tagine. Modal verbs, my mother should cook a tagine. فهاد الشارت هذا غيشرح لنا كيفاش ولا غيلخص لنا كاع جميع العمليات ديال الباسيف فويس اللي غادي تكون ولا جميع التنسز يعني درنا simple past ودرنا simple present. دابا غنشوفو present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, simple future and modal verbs. So for present continuous, my mother is cooking a tagine. It's correct. So we say a tagine is being cooked by my mother. شوف عندي هنايا التاجين كنشوف واش singular new subject was singular ولا plural. عندي تاجين is singular so غادي ندير is وتنشوف الفيرب فين مصرف. المين فيرب في الجملة هو cooking. هذا هو المين فيرب يعني الفيرب to be كيتصرف تياخذ نفس الفورم ديال المين فيرب. غنديرو being و cooking غترجع للباست participle هي cooked by my mother. Next, past continuous. My mother was cooking a tagine so we say a tagine was being cooked by my mother. Number 3, present perfect. My mother has cooked a tagine, so a tagine has been cooked by my mother. The same thing for past perfect. We say a tagine had been cooked by my mother. Simple future. My mother will cook a tagine, so a tagine will be cooked by my mother. بالنسبة لهاد will be راه كيف ما كتعرفوا will كيتبع على infinitive و will is a modal verb يعني بحالها بحال كان بحال should بحال will بحال would بحال could might etc. So whenever we have a modal verb it is usually followed by verb to be وما تتصرفش plus past participle. My mother is going to cook a tagine. The same thing we say my mother a tagine is going to be cooked by my mother. A tagine is going to be cooked by my mother. بالنسبة لهاد الجملة هادي ديال be going to إلا عندي مثلا tagines plural غادي نديرو are. إلا عندي singular غادي ندير is. Okay. And then my mother should cook a tagine. So a tagine should be cooked by my mother. بالنسبة لهاد الحالة الأخيرة ديال modal verbs راه كيف ما قلت لكم إلا عندي modal verbs بحال should, could, will, would, may, might, must, كان. فين ما تيكون عندي واحد من هادو بطبيعة الحال باش نحولها من active للباسيف راه كنستعمل الموديل فيرب وكنتبع عليها الفيرب to be وما كيتبدلش ما كيتصرفش. اوكي should be, can be, could be, will be, would be بحال وتندير الباست بارتيسيبل اللي عندي في الفيرب. cooked عندي هنايا cook هو السيمبل فيرب هو المين فيرب دونك غنردو cooked. إلا عندي past غندير past. إلا عندي write غندير written. إلا عندي مثلا play غندير played etc. So هذا غيبقى مثال ديال my mother cooks الطاجين. الطاجين is cooked by my mother. Change the following sentences from active into passive form. Okay. The Egyptians built the pyramids. Over 400 people, million people speak English. They must read the messages. Edison invented the electric bulb. You can make a pause to the video until you do the exercise and then check the correction. يعني يمكن لك دير بوز الفيديو حتى تجاوب على التمرين ومن طبيعة الحال شوف هتصحيح. Number 1 غادي نبداو the pyramids. Pyramids is plural. Built is in simple past. So we say the pyramids were built by the Egyptians. The pyramids هما الأهرامات were built by the Egyptians. Number 2 over 400 million people speak English. So English is spoken by over 400 million people. Next, they must read the messages. The messages must be read by them. فاش تكون عندي the subject هو they ولا someone ولا شي واحد اللي ما معروفش مزيان ماشي بالضرورة نديرو باي اوكي لأنه ما عرفناش. so تهمني هو شنو اللي دار. The messages must be read. By whom? I don't know because them is unknown and ولا فاش كيكون عندي someone or something like this so it's not clear. We say by them بين قوسين ما كنديروها ولا كنحذفوها بحال. Number 4 Edison invented the electric bulb. So the electric bulb was invented by Edison. The electric bulb is singular, was in simple past. Past participle of the invented is invented. By whom? By Edison. Okay, I hope that you have got correct answers. So let's move on to the subject form of the personal pronouns used in active voice turn into the object form in the passive voice. For example, this is a flat. In active voice we say I decorated this flat. In the passive we say this flat was decorated by me. So here we have subject pronoun I, you, he, she, it, we, you and they هادو تنسميهم subject pronouns. Me is an object pronouns. Okay, فاش تيكون عندي subject pronoun كيتحول passive voice لobject pronouns. Example ولا الطابلو ديالهم. So I becomes me. إلا عندي you كتبقى you. He, him. She, her. It, we, us. They, them. هادو subject pronouns كيتحولوا لobject pronouns في passive voice. Examples. Change the following sentences into passive. I interviewed the actor. I interviewed the actor. We say the actor was interviewed by me. Okay. Number 2. She doesn't clean the car. نبدأ with the car. Yes, good. Doesn't. Which tense is this? Simple present negative. So the car isn't cleaned. Okay. The car isn't cleaned by her. We visited Paris. Paris was visited by us. They will help people. People will be helped by them. He made the dress. The dress was made by him. Is that right? So this is concerning subject pronouns and object pronouns. Move on to the next. the same. So دايما هذاك الاكزامبل يبقى باش يساعدنا يعني في التمارين. Number 9, change the following sentences from active into passive. So Graham Bell invented the telephone. They were rebuilding their house. They have broken the window. The police hasn't caught the bank robbers. Graham Bell on the picture, and bank robbers, which is, the group of professor. La Casa de Papel. Anyway, so let's correct. Graham Bell invented the telephone. The telephone was invented by Graham Bell. They were rebuilding their house. We start with their house was being rebuilt. By them, it's not important in this case. They have broken the window, so the window has been broken by them. The police has not caught the bank robbers. The bank robbers have not been caught by the police. And they have not been درنا have لأنه عندي plural bank robbers. Okay, have not been caught by the police. I hope that you have got correct answers. Let's move on to the next. Change the following sentences from active into passive. So we have active sentence. Sculptor Frederick August Bartholdi designed the Statue of Liberty in 1884. So to correct, we say the new subject is the Statue of Liberty was designed by the sculptor Frederick August Bartholdi in 1884. Okay, next. So Gabriel Garcia Marquez wrote the book 100 Years of Solitude in 1971. So passive, we say the book 100 Years of Solitude was written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez in 1970 or 71, right? So this is passive voice. كيف غير كنحدد new subject كنعرف الverb فاش مصرف كنتصرف فيه الverb to be وكنحوله هو الpast participle وكنكمل الجملة by etc. Okay, let's move on to the next. Now we have passive voice with two objects. Passive voice with two objects. الحالة اللي تيكون عندي فيها جوج ديال الجملة اللي فيها جوج ديال objects. For example, John give a bar of chocolate to Jalil. So here John is a subject, gave verb, a bar of chocolate indirect object, Jalil direct object. هاد الجملة كيكون عندها جوج ديال لي passive voice, جوج ديال الحالات باش يمكن لنا نكتبوها. Is that right? So passive, we start with the indirect object and we say a bar of chocolate. الverb فاش مصرف في simple past, donc غادي نقولو غادي نحولها الverb to be was والpast participle غتكون given. A bar of chocolate was given to whom? To Jalil. By whom? By John. Okay. أولا غنبداو بجليل. Jalil was given what? A bar of chocolate. By whom? By John. Is that clear? دوكا نعقلو على الجملة هذه. John give a bar of chocolate to Jalil. عندي جوج ديال pronouns هنايا ديال objects عفوا. عندي a bar of chocolate وعندي to Jalil. So في واحد الحالة كنبداو بال first indirect object اللي هي a bar of chocolate وتنشوف واش singular ولا plural وتنصرف الverb to be بطبيعة الحال. So a bar of chocolate was given to Jalil by John ولا Jalil was given a bar of chocolate by John. Let's move to practice. Change the following sentences from active into passive. So number 1, Zainab didn't tell the truth to Layla. غادي نقولو. So let's correct. Layla, or the truth wasn't told to Layla by Zainab. The truth wasn't told to Layla by Zainab. Or we can start with Layla. Layla wasn't told the truth by Zainab. Is that right? Number 2, they offered the job to Simon. So the job was offered to Simon by them. by them is not necessary. في هذه الحالة اللي تندير بين قوسين يعني راه ممكن ديرها ممكن تحذفها. Okay, so we can say also that Simon was offered the job. Yeah, the job was offered to Simon, or Simon was offered the job. Number 3, the boss showed the new computer to Anna. So we start with the new computer was shown to Anna by the boss. Or Anna was shown the new computer by the boss. Okay, I hope that it's clear for you and I hope that you have got correct answers. Let's move on to next. Okay. Change the following sentences from active into passive. Hamid told the grammar to the students. Sophia sold the car to a doctor. The father threw the ball to the child. So we say, it's correct. Hamid taught the grammar to the students. We start with the grammar. So the grammar was taught to the students by Hamid. Or the students were taught the grammar by Hamid. Number 2, Sophia sold the car to a doctor. So the car was sold to a doctor by Sophia, or a doctor was sold the car by Sophia. The father threw the ball to the child. Say the ball was thrown to the child by the father, or the child was thrown the ball by his or by the father, right? The child was thrown the ball by the father. I hope that you have understood how we change sentences from active to passive. I mean sentences with two objects from active into passive. راه استعملت الألوان باش يبان كيفاش كنحول الجملة الأولى وكيفاش كنحول الجملة الثانية. Okay. Next. Special passive structures. يعني عندنا واحد الطريقة أخرى اللي هي كنستعملها في الباسيف voice اللي هي special. وهذه it's very very simple. For example, we say it is said that or he is said to. Okay, here is an example. People say that Prince Henry is in love with Meghan. So people say that Prince Harry is in love with Meghan. So to change it into passive, we say it is said that. It is said that. وكنهبطوا هذيك الجملة كلها هي. It is said that Prince Harry is in love with Meghan. شوف معايا. People say that. يعني من وراء داك الشيء اللي من وراء that كنحطو كيف ما هو. عندي it is said that داك الشيء اللي من وراء that كيتحط كيف ما هو. It is said that Prince Harry is in love with Meghan. اوكي. دونك هذه هي القاعدة. أو اللي تنقولو Prince Harry is said وغنزيدو لها to be. is said to be in love with Meghan. اوكي. عندنا جوج ديال الحالات. ولكن the simplest one it is said that. تنقولو it is said that. بالنسبة للsaid نقدر نقولو it is thought, it is believed, it is expected, etc. على حسب الفيرب reporting verb اللي عندنا وغنشوفهم دابا. reporting verbs اللي ممكن نستعملو معهم هاد القاعدة هما say, believe, consider, decide, expect, explain, report, suggest, suppose and think. تنقولو it is said that, it is believed that, it is considered that, it is decided that, it is expected, it is explained, it is reported. وكنحطو الجملة كيف ما هي. غنشوفو examples. For example, report these rumors. Use the passive with the structure it is plus participle plus that. For example, people say that the company is planning a new advertising campaign. Okay. So we say it is said that. شنو غنديرو؟ غنهبطو من الكمباني حتى الكامبين. Okay, correct? So it is said that the company is planning a new advertising campaign. ما كيتغير والو في الجملة كتبقى كيف ما هي. اللي كنغيرو هي it is said that لقد قيل بأن. Okay. وكنحطو هذيك الجملة كيف ما هي. Number 2, lots of TV channels report that the president had suffered a heart attack. So it is reported that the president, okay, the president had suffered a heart attack. Number 3, lots of people believe that the prime minister and his wife have separated. So it is believed that the prime minister. Okay, من that كنحط الجملة من that the prime minister had and his wife have separated. Okay, I hope that is clear right now. اوكي، إلى هنا نكون قد وصلنا إلى نهاية هذه الحلقة. أتمنى حقيقة أن تكونوا قد استفدتم من هذا الشرح ديال الباسيف فويس اللي هو المبني المعلوم والمبني المجهول، ونتمنى تشاركوا المحتوى مع الزملاء ديالكم حتى تعم الفائدة. لا تنسونا من صالح دعائكم، ونتمنى لكم التوفيق والصلاح. إلى اللقاء. السلام عليكم.